AI Nannies, the new Invisible Caregivers, Episode 2, Who Programs the Playmate? Once upon a time, children played with dolls, toy cars, and crayons. Now, some of them play with voices that live inside little glowing boxes. They call them friends, helpers, even teachers. To the child, it feels like magic, a friend who always listens, always answers, never gets tired. But behind the friendly voice is a machine made to learn, remember, and respond. And that raises a simple but important question. What exactly is it teaching our children? Every day, millions of children around the world talk to smart toys, voice assistants, and story apps. Some tell jokes. Some sing songs. Some even help with homework. But these new playmates are not neutral. They learn from what we say, and from what others have said before us. When your child asks, "Tell me a story about courage," the voice that answers is not a person, it's a reflection of the world it was trained on. And that world has its own beliefs, biases, and blind spots. One mother said her daughter asked their device for a story about kindness. What came back was a tale about a girl who never cried, never got angry, and never complained. To the child, it was sweet. To the parent, it was worrying. Because kindness isn't about silence, it's about empathy. But the AI didn't know that. It simply pulled words from somewhere in its training and stitched them together. To a young mind, that message can shape how they see the world. And there's another question: who appears in these stories? Who gets to be the hero? Many of these systems are built from data gathered in Western countries. That means the princesses often have golden hair. The heroes speak one kind of English. And children from other parts of the world rarely see themselves in the stories. If a child never hears a name that sounds like theirs, never sees a family that looks like theirs, they might quietly learn that their world doesn't belong in the story at all. But it's not just about stories. These digital companions can change how children behave. They learn that when they ask a question, they get an answer immediately. No waiting, no, let's find out together. That instant reward can make patience and curiosity fade. They also learn how to speak, sometimes politely, sometimes not. If a child says, "Please," and the device ignores it, or shouts a command and still gets what they want, what lesson do they take away? We even tested something simple. 3 smart speakers were asked, "Why is the moon round?" One said, "Because of gravity." Another said, "Because that's how the moon wants to be." And one simply said, "Because it looks nice." 3 answers, 3 very different ideas. A child might believe any of them. Because each voice sounds confident and kind. It's not that these devices mean harm. They just don't understand truth the way humans do. They copy patterns, not meaning. And where do these voices get their knowledge? Mostly from the internet, stories, blogs, books, even social media posts. The AI doesn't know which ones are real or fake. It just learns from everything. Sometimes, it even learns from the very children who use it. Each time a child talks to it, that voice and choice can become part of a new update somewhere in the cloud. Some of that data helps improve the product. Some of it might just float away, stored who knows where. Parents rarely know who's listening, or how much. So, if something goes wrong, if an AI says something harmful, or stores a child's voice without consent, who takes the blame? At the moment, no one really knows. Many countries don't yet have clear laws about how AI should treat children. Groups like UNICEF have asked for rules that protect kids' privacy and well-being. But progress is slow. In most parts of the world, these digital nannies still operate without proper supervision. Experts say parents can still make choices that matter. Before you buy or set up a smart toy or story app, ask, does it store data locally or online? Can I delete my child's recordings? Who checks the stories it tells? And what happens to our data when we stop using it? If a company can't answer clearly, maybe it's not ready for your family. Your child doesn't just use a voice assistant. They live with it. In fact, recent surveys show that nearly half of children ages 3 to 12 interact with voice assistants like Alexa, Siri, or Google Assistant on a daily basis. They ask it to tell stories, to sing songs, to calm their fears, and many of them treat it like someone there, a companion in the quiet of the night. But here's the catch: while the device may sound friendly, it doesn't know kindness. It only echoes patterns it has learned elsewhere. Night after night, those echoes become subtle lessons. Because children don't just hear answers. They believe them. They accept them. In homes across the world, new rituals are forming. Asking the speaker to turn off lights, remind bedtime, recite prayers. And with every request, the assistant records tone, pitch, phrasing, and context, helps the AI learn your family. Some families tell me the assistant does feel more like a partner in weekday routines than a toy. The device switches on before a parent does. The voices know how to comfort, before we even speak. But when a child trusts a voice more than a hug, we must ask, does it shape what they value? Experts at UNICEF warn we're entering a new kind of childhood, where privacy and identity, all the things we once thought personal, are quietly shaped by code. Because we don't just lose data, we lose choices. And so the question becomes not only what children hear, but who hears them back. Technology can be wonderful. It can make learning fun, spark creativity, and even bring families closer. But no matter how advanced it gets, a machine can't love a child. The best stories still come from voices that care. The best lessons still come from eyes that understand. And the best teachers are still human. The invisible caregivers of this new age may be made of code. But how they care depends on us. Because in the end, what children learn from AI will depend on what we choose to teach it, and what we choose to keep human.